we're going to be transplanting our seedlings into the garden, our cherry tomatoes and some basil and maybe some of the peppers, and we're going to be allowing everything else to get some hardening off time. We picked up some basil. We're not really going to eat this basil. They're just in the, we're just going to put them in the garden for natural repellents. They are companion plants for tomatoes. So, and eggplant and everything else, you know, herbs do mighty fine with a lot of the things in gardens as natural repellents. So we're going to go ahead and get that planted in there. And let's get to it. First thing first, just make sure that it has a good soaking. We're going to go ahead and plant all the way up to the top of the really fuzzies here. These are actually roots, and if you can see, they're actually sprouting out. So we want to make sure that we get all of that covered there. So these are going to end up being more roots that come out and start growing. So let's get this. We got our hole. We gave it a good soaking. Just want to move it, shimmy it out a little bit. Flip it over, bring it up. One thing you want to make sure that you do, if you notice here, all the roots are starting to grow around the sides and everything, just pull those apart. Pull those apart to make sure that the roots know that they can start growing outwards. And you can do that on the sides and everything also. Just kind of pinch them out. No, you don't want to do too much damage. Don't be too rough with them, but just pinch them out a little bit. So, we're going to go ahead and plant in another. We want these about a foot to 18 inches apart for this cherry tomato here. We're going to plant it out this way. So our next one will go about here. Just move back these wood chips. Always praying we don't find a spider. But the wiggly worms are okay. Alright, so flip it. Make sure to take the roots out. You're free. Grow more. And then just fill it back in with our compost here. And like I said, just make sure you fill in around the stem there. Make sure that they know that it's cool to start growing out now. And then just fill your wood chips back in, because the wood chips will help keep the soil moist. Moist around the area. They soak in the soil when it's too wet, and they release it again when it's too dry. So let's go ahead and get everything else in here. So if you happen to be growing some already potted, like store-bought vegetables or herbs like I am doing here, A lot of them come with the compostable pot. You always want to make sure that you take off this bottom pot right here. And then you want to stick it in its hole. So we are just going to put this basil here, right over here by the edge of the garden, to deter any other bugs that aren't here to not come in, because we're dealing with bugs that are already here and we don't want to deal with any more. So we're just gonna dig our hole. And what I'm actually going to do here is, I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's a plant here and a plant here and two more on this side. I'm actually going to split these in half, and they are very rooted in here, as you can see, but they should be all right. I'm going to take this one and plant it in this hole. And then the other side, I'll take and plant it in a different hole. Because honestly, I don't need 4 plants in one hole. 2 plants in one hole is fine. Of course, just fill in your wood chips. Get underneath the leaves though, not on top of the leaves. Oh, there we go. And there's your basil. This is Prep Steading with Mrs. V, and I wish you all happy planting.